right, some post-Jiu-Jitsu thoughts. Today I want to talk about consistency and the idea that being consistent in anything is never going to be convenient. There's going to be struggle, there's going to be setbacks, inconveniences, things in the way. It's never going to be easy. The better I find my way back on the path, the faster I find my way back on the path, find a way to be consistent, embrace the struggle, the level of success in that given situation really depends on it. Some things that have helped me be consistent in jiu-jitsu is planning my weeks in advance, knowing when I'm attempting to train, when I can train, writing it down on my notes, being flexible if and when life happens, adjusting my schedule, maybe going to a time that's less convenient, like early in the morning or really late at night if life got in the way. Another reason or another way that I've found being consistent is tracking my hours, having goal hours for mat time, having goal times per week that I strength train, that I work my neck. And that way in that week block, if I am having to move things around, I know that regardless of when I train or what time, as long as I get those goal hours in, goal sessions in, then I'm staying consistent. So I'm staying consistent on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And I think expanding out, looking at your training in a long-term approach helps you stay consistent. With nutrition, I typically track all my food. I usually weigh stuff when I'm at home. That keeps me accountable. I weigh myself every morning. And it helps me be consistent with that nutrition, consistent with that intake of food so I can recover. They say consistency is everything. And finding that amount that you can stay consistent with jiu-jitsu especially, is super important. With how addicting it is, and you just want to be on the mats more and more and more. And that's great for that short period of time, but eventually, if you're not recovering adequately enough, you're going to get hurt or burnt out. And I have a lot of people come up to me and ask, how many days should I train? How many days should I lift? How many days, do I need to make class? And if you're starting out, in my experience, 2 to 3 times is plenty. Let your body acclimate. Let your body get used to training, getting on the mats. Keep strength training in, but don't overdo it. 2 to 3 times on the mat for class, 1 to 2 hours a session, and 2 to 3 times a week in the gym. Just to stay strong, stay injury free. And after 6 months or a year, you can up it. See how you do with more hours. I started with 3 to 5 hours a week on the mats, and then after a year and I got my blue belt, I upped it to about 4 to 6 hours a week. And then when I got my purple, now I'm about 5 to 7. But I've noticed that getting into that 7, 8, 9 hour a week, combine that with 3 times strength training a week, is I can only maintain that and hold that for a certain amount of time. Yeah, it's great for tournament prep or special occasions where I have a ton of time and I have ample time to sleep and eat and recover. But consistency-wise, 4 to 6 hours for me of focused training per week keeps me injury-free, keeps me focused, keeps me motivated, and it's probably borderlining less than I could potentially handle, but it's keeping me consistent. And there's certain days of the week where, man, I'm not motivated to go lift, I'm not motivated to go roll, but I remind myself how important consistency is. I remind myself that the level of my success depends on how consistent I can be. And I remind myself that it's not ever going to be easy. It's never going to be convenient. Consistency is tough, and that's why people struggle with it. And just knowing that a lot of people struggle with it, and it'll set me apart, being super consistent, gets me up, gets me to the gym. Sometimes I joke around and with my crazy work schedule and having a one and a half year old kiddo, that I am extremely consistent with training, but inconsistent times. So I'll hit mornings, I'll hit afternoons, I'll hit nighttime sessions. I'll go train at other gyms. I have a membership at another gym for no-gi training. I get it in no matter what. 4 to 6 hours every week. And I will get up as early as it takes, stay up late as it takes to keep those hours consistent. And I think all time, my jiu-jitsu training, I'm averaging 4 to 5 hours a week. And this year, for 2021, I'm averaging 6 to 7 hours per week. So whenever you're embarking on something that is gonna demand and expect a ton of consistency, just expect it to be super tough. Expect the roadblocks. Expect the setbacks. Embrace them and find a way to be consistent.